We will get started in exactly 5 minutes. We'll use this time to settle down and also to understand how you can benefit the maximum out of this session. One of the things that you can do on your own to benefit the most out of this session is by networking with other wonderful business owners who are also part of this session. So you can start networking with them very easily. And one of the suggestions that I always give is whenever you are networking or whenever you are participating in a similar kind of session, when you're sharing information about yourself, try to include as much information as possible, right? So what is your organization name? Which product or services do you deal in? Where are you located, your contact information, if you have a website that you should add. And in addition to that, if there is any particular requirement, so for example, you have an order that you had been working on, and for that you're looking for a particular raw material, or there's a particular item that you're looking at. And being a business owner, we all have some sort of requirement all the time. So if you have that kind of requirement, you can share that. And we have seen that in a lot of previous sessions, members were able to get into business deal during the session itself, and that is an added advantage. And as we all keep hearing this phrase, your network is your net worth. Now, we should leverage all the networking opportunities that we can get. And these virtual events or conferences that we attend, they are equally powerful networking opportunities. So whenever we are meeting someone in person, whenever we are meeting or joining a physical conference, that's where we actively network. We try to network and connect with all the participants who are there in that session, but we should do that in these virtual sessions as well. So I can already see that participants have started sharing details and they have started networking. So you can continue to do that. And we have 2 more minutes in which we'll get started with the session. But as I'm sharing the suggestions, I think it is my moral responsibility as well that I should also participate in the networking. So this is where I will share my details. Let me just quickly take them out and share it with you. So I'll need a few seconds to do that. But in the meantime, you can continue to network and connect with other business owners. So let me just come back to the screen, and I can see many members are already sharing details. Now you can use the format that I have shared as an example as well, right? So this is where you can see I've added my organization name, my designation, my contact details, and I've also given a link to connect with me on the GlobalLinker platform. So similarly, you can also use the same format where you are sharing details and networking with other business owners. All right, now we have just 1 more minute. So before starting the session, there is one more important information that I would want to share with you. And that information is about how you can benefit the most from this particular session. You have taken out time and you have invested your precious time and you are attending this session. Now, it is in your as well as our interest that you get the maximum benefit. Now, I've already shared about networking. That is a icing on the cake and added or a plus that you can get from this session, that you are able to find some buyer or supplier during the session. But more importantly, as you are here and you are here to understand something, now that understanding is crucial. So if you're not understanding what you have come here to understand, if you're not getting the answers, or that doubt which is there in your mind, if it is not getting clarified, that is where it is a wasted effort, ours as well as yours, right? So that's where it is extremely important that the doubts, the questions, or any thought that is there in your mind, all that gets clarified. To get those clarified, what is important is that you ask those questions, you ask those doubts. Now, how do you ask those doubts? So there is a, here somewhere down below, you'll see there is a Q&A. So capital Q and A. So that is where you can ask your questions. And many people, including myself. A lot of time when we have to ask a question, there is a very important question, something which is troubling us. But many times in a public gathering or this kind of a digital gathering, because when the question gets asked, people can know that this person has asked that question. So many times we are a little shy. We are not, we think that what will others think if we are asking a question, right? So that is where there's an anonymous option also. So if you're not feeling comfortable, if you're feeling that what will he think, what will Adnan think, or what will Prateek think about me when they'll see that I've asked this question, this is a very simple question or basic one. So don't worry, you can ask your question as anonymous as well. But what is more important is that your doubts gets clear. All right, so this is where we'll get started with today's session. I'll give a quick introduction about myself, and then in today's session we have FIEO officials, Prateek and Mayank, who are joining us in today's session, and we also have one of our colleagues, Malvika. She's also joining us in today's session as one of the panelists. So let me quickly give you a quick and short crisp introduction about myself. So my name is Adnan, and many of you may have already interacted with me in any of my previous session. So I am Director SME e-commerce growth at GlobalLinker, and my functional focus areas are the website builder platform linker.store at GlobalLinker, and any and every digital commerce initiatives in India and around the world. So that is a little brief about myself. In addition to my other responsibilities, I also have very significant interest in educating businesses, especially on how they can grow their business digitally, because that is a front where I believe that a lot of businesses are disadvantaged and they need guidance. So that's where I conduct a lot of trainings and webinars, and I've conducted more than 350 of such sessions and trained or guided around 12,000 businesses in India and Philippines. So that was a short brief about myself. Now I'll request Mr. Prateek to give a short introduction about himself and also about Indian Business Portal.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Prateek Naule, and I work with the Federation of Indian Export Organization, which is the apex body of all export promotion council and serving the more like 2 lakh exporters interest. So here we are basically, I'm looking after the Indian trade portal as well as Indian business portal. And our objective is that we basically help and encourage all the SMEs who have not started their exports yet. So they should start their exports so we can handhold them, as well as the companies who are already into the export. So we help them to promote, showcase their business globally, whether it could be a B2B or B2C. So our objective is to basically understand your concerns and address those concerns. So we'll be able to streamline the entire e-commerce export as well as the B2B exports. So now moving forward, I think Malvika, if you can introduce yourself. Over to you, Malvika.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. I'm Malvika Jaggi, and I'm a people's person. I love interacting with businesses. Over to you, Adnan, given that all the members are very excited to know about the Indian Business Portal, which is a joint collaboration between FIEO as well as GlobalLinker. The primary objective of the portal is ideally to connect Indian suppliers with foreign buyers. So given that's a very strong proposition, I think we'll directly jump into that.
Absolutely, Malvika. But before we go there, I think we also have Mayank joining us. So I'll request Mayank if you can give a brief introduction about yourself as well.
Thanks a lot, Adnan. Good afternoon, everyone. I would suggest that you hold your horses and wait for the presentation that will be carried on by Mr. Prateek, and all your doubts will be cleared in a moment. Over to you, Adnan.
Thanks, Mayank. Prateek, would you like to give a brief introduction about Indian Business Portal before we explain to our audience how they can join?
Prateek, you're on mute.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Adnan, because this is very much required. So the Indian Business Portal, it is a joint collaboration between the GlobalLinker as well as the FIEO. And when we have started, there was one platform which we have created called as FIEO Global Linker. So this is the base platform where actually we have started where the SME can connect to each other, they can create their business profile, and further we have also allowed them to create their e-store. So when we talk about the e-store, you can consider it as your own website, your own digital visibility, where you are showcasing your own professional qualifications as well as your skills and entire information about you as well as your organization. But when you basically talk about when you wanted to showcase your business services or goods, then definitely you need some interface, a standard template where we call as an e-store. So when we started integrating with these stores, a lot of people, they are encouraging that they want some marketplace where the foreign buyer can come and start interacting with them, or maybe they can showcase their business. So we basically decided to have a one marketplace called as Indian Business Portal, where all the stores can integrate, can have a unique visibility, and there would be the features of showcasing these goods and services. It basically aligned with the foreign buyers requirement. So basically once you have the Indian Business Portal showcase, so you can have your own store called as, let's say, ABC Global Linker. This is your website which you can have at the e-store, which you can basically replace that domain and use that website. So once you showcase your information, the foreign buyers required very standard informations about the company. They don't want to go into the sometimes into the about us or your story. So we have collected a very specific information about the company, about the organization, about the business, about the services, and
Pratik, we are losing
very
you.
specific information. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Malvika?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
For a
So
moment.
basically, this information we mapped with the ITC HSN code. So tomorrow, if foreign buyers are coming, they would be able to find out that as per the HS code, which are the potential supplier. And after that, we have also mapped with the proper category, proper images, the informations which is required by the foreign buyers. So now we are basically connecting to the more foreign buyers, learning from their experience with our sellers. We are also educating our sellers to fulfill their details to complete their entire store. And this is what very much this is the first platform, I would say, where we are not uh, basically trying to get any sponsorship for showcasing your business, or maybe whoever is paying a good amount, we are not basically showcasing their business on a top level. Whoever is having a better capability, whoever is complete with their certifications or their HS codes or more information, we are trying to basically showcase their businesses on a very top priority, because that is what the supply foreign buyers looking from this platform. When we started, this is was an basically an open platform where the buyers can come and they basically directly interact with the supplier. However, some buyers have requested us that they wanted to basically put their information confidential, and they wanted that the FIEO should basically take a part of this activity, and FIEO basically find out the suppliers for a particular product from the open domain. So we started basically contacting to the FIEO members, IBP members. You will see the foreign buyers requirements coming to the Indian business portal, and whatever the informations we are getting from suppliers, we are basically sharing those representations with foreign buyers. So this is an activity where the foreign buyers also informing us that okay, these are the potential suppliers identified by them. So we are also informing to the rest of the supplier that okay, the buyer has already identified their potential supplier, and this is the and we are also informing those potential supplier that buyer has chosen you. So these kind of practices are happening, but there are also the foreign buyers who are directly contacting to the Indian suppliers, and they are basically placing their orders. There are some foreign buyers who are directly contacting into the B2C mode, where they are buying from the Indian supplier listed on this platform. So objective is that we are wanted to digitize more SMEs, that they should come forward, because most of the time when the companies comes to us and say that they wanted to know which is the best market for them, but we don't know that what is your product, how your product looks like, whether you are ready to basically promote your products or not. And this is the best way, that what you are explaining and what we are understanding, this is the best way. If we can showcase the your business, then let the foreign buyer decide that how to buy, and what product they can buy from your platform. So this is the platform we have created. So I will not take much time. I will allow, I will say, Adnan, if you can just take us through with the IBP platform, so they can, then we can have the more Q&A, question and answer in that case.
Absolutely, Pratik. And this is where now I'll start sharing my screen, and we'll proceed ahead with our session. And this is where I'm going to share with you how you can join Indian Business Portal. So I'll walk you through step-by-step process, and I'll also try to give you a very quick walkthrough of Indian Business Portal. And alongside, while I'm explaining to you this process, if you have any questions, if you have any queries, if you have any doubt, keep adding them to the question answer section so that we can answer them towards the end of this session. All right, so let's quickly get started. I am going to start sharing my screen. I hope everyone can hear me properly. And now I'll start sharing my screen. So this is where you should be able to see my screen as well. Also do a quick systems check to just ensure that everything is working fine. So everything seems to be working fine. Just a second. All right, so let's proceed ahead. Now, firstly, what am I going to share with you? So I'm going to share with you how can you join Indian Business Portal. What is the process? What you're seeing on your screen is Indian Business Portal. How can you access this website? So all you have to do is to either type indianbusinessportal.in, which you can see here, indianbusinessportal.in. You can just type it in the browser and you can access this website, or you can search for Indian Business Portal. You can search in any of the search platforms and it will redirect you to Indian Business Portal. Now, as I mentioned earlier, before starting to explain to you how you can join Indian Business Portal, let me just quickly give you a very quick walkthrough within, let's say, 2 minutes of Indian Business Portal. This is Indian Business Portal. Now, this is where there are few USPs or specialities which you cannot find on any other platform. So I'm going to explain them. One of the speciality is HS code based search. So here you can see we have different search options, and that's where you can search by product, which is there on any website. Then you can search by supplier as well. So for example, if I'm an international buyer or a importer, and I know that there is like ABC Enterprises, and that is a very professional supplier of a particular product, so I can search by supplier name as well. So that is another unique feature which is available. And the third one is HS code. Now, this is something which was highlighted by Pratik as well during his introduction about Indian Business Portal. And this is one of the search criteria, because we understand that a very popular method by which international buyers search is by using HS code. So they can come here and they can search by HS codes as well. And while you're adding products to your online store, you can specify what is the HS code. So that is also possible. That's why the matchmaking happens. So this is one USP I thought of highlighting. The second USP is around GI products, which you can see top of the category. We have GI products. In fact, if we scroll down, there's a dedicated section on the home page for GI products. So here you can see there's a flag, GI products. So these are geographic indication products. Let me just quickly take you to the GI product page. It is open here. So there's a GI product. So we have GI or specialty products in different categories. And GI products, if I have to explain to you in a common man's language, these are specialty products from a particular location. So for example, you may have heard Nagpur is very famous for what? Oranges. Right? So Darjeeling, famous for the hill station, obviously, but tea. right? So these are specialty or unique products from a particular location, like similarly, Petha from Agra or saffron from Kashmir. So there are so many specialty products which are there, not only just in agriculture. So I was just giving you an example from agriculture. They are in foodstuff, handicraft, manufacturing, or natural as well. So this is where, if you are an international buyer, you can come and you can search by category. You can go through locations, and then even in those locations, for example, Varanasi, which is Banaras, is very popular for Banarsi sari. We all know that. But in addition to Banarsi sari, which is a very popular GI product or a specialty product from Varanasi, there are many other GI products also. Now, for example, you are interested in lacquer toys, being an international buyer, you want it for your business. You can click there and you can see all the suppliers which are there from Varanasi, who are providing or who are manufacturing these products. And if I can quickly show you the profile of one of that manufacturer, it is a handicraft manufacturer. They established their business in 2013. And if we as an international buyer, if I'm interested, there's another USP that you'll see on Indian Business Portal. And the USP is on Indian Business Portal, you can also set up a meeting with the exporter. So, for example, just imagine that I am the international buyer, I am the importer. I'm looking at this profile of Balaji Handicraft, and I'm interested, I'm impressed by the products that they have manufactured. I want to get into a business deal with them. That's where I can obviously connect with them. There are so many connection options. I'll try to explain them a little later, but the USP is this feature, which is request meeting, which you can see here. So this is where I can have a meeting with the exporter Balaji Handicraft, the same way we are connecting here today, right? So that is a USP, a unique feature, which is available on Indian Business Portal. Now, when it comes about the possibility of understanding the exporter and their offerings, etc., you'll see there is a lot of information which is available here. So where they are located, here, etc., there's a about section here, and this is where all the information about that particular exporter is available. Their entire catalog is available here. Now, if importer wants or international buyer wants to connect with them, then they can just click on this option, which is connect supplier, and they can connect with them. I'll just close that. They can also visit their website. So all these options are available, so they can have a fair amount of understanding about you, about your business, and then they can connect with you. Right. So all this is possible on Indian Business Portal. I just thought of highlighting them, and then we'll very quickly start our journey. And that's where I'll explain to you how you can join Indian Business Portal. But before I do that, there are two common questions that had been asked many, many times in many of my previous sessions about Indian Business Portal. And I would like to answer them because I can imagine those questions might be there in your head as well, right? So what are those questions brewing in your head? The first one is very obvious one. Anyone, if I was in your role, I would have the same question that, okay, all this is very good, very nice, very wonderful initiative, but is it actually turning into a transaction? Is it actually resulting it into what it is meant to do? And that's where I'll just want to show you something. So I'm just scrolling down, and you can do that even right now. So there's not like something that I'm showing to you which is very special. You can go to Indian Business Portal right now and you can scroll down, and that's where you'll see leads which are there, which are available. You can see these leads are available. These are international buyers who came, but for some reason they were not able to connect with a credible exporter from India, and that's where they requested FIEO that can you please help, and that's where FIEO has circulated these leads, so you can review them and you can submit your requisition. But the point is that these leads are already there, and they are like tip of the iceberg. So there are many, many more leads which are directly going to exporters. And if you want to understand or get testimonials, so you can go to FIEO's Facebook page, and sometime back they have shared few testimonials wherein people or exporters like you have actually got transactions and business deals from Indian business portal. So I thought of clarifying this. The second question is not this generic, but also a logical one. And that is where many time exporters have said that we want to do that and we want to do it more aggressively. But one challenge that we encounter is with regards to logistics, shipping samples or shipping consignment. That's where we struggle. So is there a solution available? Yes, absolutely. FIEO has already taken that initiative, and you'll see it has already partnered with two premier logistic organization. One you can see on the top, that is ShipRocket, which is here, and down below is ShipMax. So both of them are already being onboarded into this initiative, and that's where they are also giving you 15% special discount for being part of Indian Business Portal. All right. So these were common questions. I thought of clarifying them. Now, this is where I will start with the journey and will start explaining to you that how can you become part of Indian Business Portal. Sorry, I have a bad throat. So, so I'll keep sipping water in between. So please bear with me on that. So let's begin. The very first step that you have to do, and this is where I'm starting to share with you, how can you become part of Indian Business Portal. So you have to create an online store, and I'm going to explain to you the entire journey. So once you have created your online store, the products which you have listed on your online store, they start showcasing on Indian Business Portal. So let's understand the journey. The very first step that you have to do is to visit Indian Business Portal. How do you do that? Just open indianbusinessportal.in or search for Indian Business Portal and you'll land here. Here, once Indian Business Portal is open in front of you, here you have to click on this option, which is register as Indian exporter. Quite self-explanatory, and I don't think it requires any explanation. So you can visit here, click on this option, register as Indian exporter, which will open this page. So let me just scroll down. This is the page which will get opened up. I've just done that. Let me do that in front of you. This is the page which will get opened up. Now, while you are on this page, there is a request that I would want to make to you. And that request is before obviously instinctively we have that instinct that we are seeing this button, create your catalog, and we'll click on it and we'll get started with the journey. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to stop here for a moment and do one more thing. That one more thing is, once you have clicked on Indian Business Portal and you are on this page, this is where I want you to scroll down all the way to the bottom of this page. So scroll down all the way to the bottom. That's where you'll see this section, which is frequently asked questions section, right? So you come here and then you can review this first question. So the first question is, how do I link my business with Indian Business Portal? So this is where you can review the step-by-step process. But more importantly, what I want you to do is to click on this link. Here you can see there's a link to tutorial video. So once you click on it, a tutorial video will load up. This is the tutorial video which will load up. I want you, if you have time, it is a slightly long video. It is about 21 minutes. So you review it, or at least what you should do is to keep this video open alongside. So while you're going from step to step, keep it open. At any step, if you're getting stuck, you can reference with the video, right? So that is something that I want you to do. So that is where the journey or the process will be a lot simpler, because you'll have a reference alongside. So whenever you're getting stuck, you can check the video and you can understand what needs to be done. All right. Otherwise, it is a very simple process. All right. Now, what we'll do is we'll use this video. We'll not play it because the video is any which ways available. So why waste our time? So we'll just quickly go through it, and let me just reload this video. Give me a few seconds because I'm seeing it is not loaded properly. So yeah, it is not loaded in HD. So let me just reload it. It is loaded now, I think. Let's now. So we'll not play the video. We'll just keep fast forwarding it so that I can explain to you the important aspects or something which is not covered in this video. So this is the step which I have already explained to you. Visit Indian Business Portal, then click on register as Indian exporter, which will bring you to this screen. This is where you went down to the FAQ section and from where you opened this video, right? So far we have understood all this process. Now, what is the next step? So here you have to click on create your catalog. So this is where you see this button. So you can click on either of the two. So there are two create your catalog. One is here, one is here. So either of the two, top one or center one, whichever you want, you can click on it. It will take you to this screen. This is where you have to enter your name, email ID, and password, and then move to the next screen. That's where you'll do a mobile number verification using OTP. After that, you have to enter the GST number of your company. Now, this is where many people ask me, why do you want our GST number? What do you want? Why do you want it? So the response is because you're joining a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So you're joining FIEO GlobalLinker, as well as you're creating an online store, as well as you're joining Indian Business Portal. So there are three things that you are doing, right? Now, if we keep online store and Indian Business Portal aside for a moment, we have FIEO GlobalLinker. Now, what is FIEO GlobalLinker? So FIEO GlobalLinker is a business networking platform. It allows business owners like you to connect and network with other business owners, or in simple common man's language, you will be able to connect, see, and connect with other business owners from 150 countries. So there are more than 450,000 SMEs from 150 countries who are part of FIEO GlobalLinker. So that is a business networking opportunity. So similarly to how we network with friends on Facebook or how we professionally network on LinkedIn, this is where you'll be able to network with other business owners. Right? Now you have understood about FIEO GlobalLinker, and if time permitted, I'll give you a quick walkthrough of FIEO GlobalLinker as well. But more importantly, if you are not adding your GST number here, that is where your account will not be verified on FIEO GlobalLinker. So you'll not have this verified mark. What are the disadvantages of not having this verified mark? So there are two disadvantages. First, being a non-verified business, you'll not be able to participate on FIEO GlobalLinker in the desired manner or in the correct way. How so? Because you'll not be able to comment, you'll not be able to post, you'll not be able to participate in any of the groups, you'll not be able to participate in any of the events which is happening on FIEO GlobalLinker. So you'll not be able to do anything there. So that is one clear disadvantage. You are losing out on that networking opportunity. In addition to that, the other bigger disadvantage that comes is that because your business is not verified, they cannot see that trust mark. That's where any international buyer who's looking for a exporter from India, a supplier from India, and they come across your profile, but because your profile is not verified, they'll not think or they'll think that it is not a professional business, it is not a trustworthy, credible business, and you would not want to give that kind of an impression to any international buyer. So that's where it is recommended that you should add your GST number. All right, let's move on. Then you have to add your company name, location, etc. Then you have to specify your industry. You can do that from drop down, or you can type the name and you can select that, which will bring you to this screen. This is where your online store creation journey starts. So far what we have done, we have created our account on FIEO GlobalLinker. That is already done. Now we are creating our online store or website, whatever term you would want to call. For ease of use, let's call it website. Website is something that everyone can relate to. Online store, sometimes people feel it is more e-commerce. So let's call it website. So this is where we are going to create a website for our business. Now, when it comes to creating website, a lot of people have this impression or a thought that it is a very technical thing and you need to know coding to create a website. I'm not a coder, or I don't have any technical knowledge. I can just operate a computer, I can respond to emails, or I can browse the internet. How can I create a website? So this is where I would want to clarify to you and absolutely assure you as well that because of advancement in technology, the process has become so simple that any person who can operate a computer, who can operate an email, is able to not only create, but operate and grow their business from their website, right? So anyone can do it. Don't get confused that, okay, it looks very technical or website development is a technical work. We are not qualified to do that. Anyone can do that. So please don't get confused with that. A lot of people have that apprehension, that thought is there, because unfortunately, that is a common conception that website requires coding, etc. But it is now entirely do it yourself. So any person can do that. So let's begin our journey, and I'll just demonstrate the journey in front of you, how simple it is, and no technical information or no technical input whatsoever is required to create this website. All right. So let's understand the steps here forward. The very first thing that you have to do for creating your website is to agree to the terms of use, which you have to just scroll down and click on agree. After that, this 4-stage journey is revealed. This stage 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-stage, very simple journey is revealed. This is stage 1. What do we have to do in stage 1? You have to select a design theme. There are so many design themes which are there. So you have to select any one of them, any one that you're liking. You can select it as per your requirement. Now, an obvious question comes, what is a design theme? So design theme is a way or a layout of the website which represents the information in a particular way. Or let me just try to explain it in more simpler term. So we all use PowerPoint presentation, right? PPT, whether we are doing it through Microsoft or Google Slides, we use or we create presentations, right? Every one of us has created those. Now, for presentations, there are different design templates or themes, right? There are different themes which are available. And if we are, so the content of our presentation, the information, the word or the text that we have added, that remains the same. But if you are using theme A, it is displayed differently. If you are using theme B, it is displayed differently. Same is the case here. So your business information, your product information, or your service information, it remains the same, but these are different ways of showcasing that information, right? So there are different layouts and different design templates you can call of showcasing that information. So that is design theme. Now here, again, there are few questions that get asked. And although this is a very simple stage, all you have to do is to click something and then you'll move to the next stage. Very simple. It will not even take you 2 seconds to go through this stage. But there are many questions. Many people get stuck here and they call up our help desk, and then we have to get onto any desk session, clarify their doubts, and then they are able to proceed ahead. So that's why I'll spend some time here and explain or try to answer all those questions. The first question is based on what I've suggested just now, that you can select any of the design theme, any design theme that you're liking on your screen. You can select it and you can move ahead. Now, related to this suggestion, people ask me this question that, okay, you are saying select a design theme, we'll selected this design theme. It was looking nice. We selected it. But when our website was getting ready, so it was nearing completion, that's where we realized this design theme that we have selected is not showcasing our products in the right way, that they're not looking nice. Can I change to another design theme at that moment? Answer is absolutely yes. Any point you would want to change, you can do that. And it will not even take you 5 seconds. You'll be able to move from one design theme to another design theme very easily. So that is first question that get asked related to design theme. Now, the second question is more logical, and I am extremely thankful to that person who asked this question. So in one of my session that I was doing many months ago, that is where one of the participants asked me this question, that I'm a common businessman, right? I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not an extremely creative person. So I don't have that creative mindset. So how do I choose a suitable design theme, right? Everything is looking nice. So this is nice, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice. Everything is nice. How do I choose? Logical one. And I think any person will have this doubt, right? Any person will have this confusion that everything is looking nice. So this is where we have the problem of plenty. We don't have the problem of scarcity, where we have like very few good design options. Everything is nice. How do I choose then? So, sorry. I think my my mouse moved, and that's where the screen changed. So apologies for that. But what I was explaining to you that we have a problem of plenty. Everything is looking nice. This design theme is looking nice. This is also looking nice. This is also looking nice. This is also looking nice. So how do I choose? So that's where I suggest a formula. I suggest a trick that is something which anyone can do. So you don't need to have a very good creative mindset or graphic design degree to do that. And that formula or trick is that you complete this process. So you go through all these 4 stages that we are seeing here. So you go through all of them, and then you add few products or services, depending on whether you are a service provider, then you add services. If you are a product manufacturer, in that case, you add product. But the genuine one, not the dummy one. So we are adding some dummy information. Don't do that. Genuine, actual product or service, you have to add that information. Once you have added that, then come to the theme section. You'll have a theme section. The same section will be available on the seller panel, on the control panel of your website. So go to the theme section and try out different themes. So you can try out every theme which is out there and see which theme is showcasing your products or services in the most beautiful manner. That is the theme that you have to choose. Very simple. Anyone can do that. Now, related to this suggestion, there's another doubt or question that comes, that you're suggesting that we should look at the product detail page where the product information is available. But what about the home page? That is where anyone who's visiting our website, that is where people are entering. So why shouldn't we look at optimizing that? So the logic is that if you have a very beautiful looking store, a store with very beautiful looking facade, that it is so shiny, wonderful, nice from the outside, you haven't entered the store, but when you enter the store, that is not that beautiful. It is shabby, it is cramped, etc. Will you shop there? I'll not. So the logic is same. Understand, and let's be real, that the action happens on the product detail page, not on the homepage. Homepage is obviously, it should be nice, and all the design team will give you very nice home pages. So that is something which is taken care of in any of the design team that you're choosing. But the real action, whether it is giving lead to you or giving orders to you, all that happens where? On the product detail page, that, or service detail page, depending on what you are. But that is where the person who is going to give you an order or who's going to give you an inquiry, that makes that decision that this is a credible exporter and we should do business with them. So the real action is happening there. That is why it is important that the product detail page should be optimized. All right. So let's move ahead. I think that's where in the third question I become little technical. So apologies for that, but let's move ahead. It is important, and especially people who are like slightly more tech savvy, they have this question. So I thought of answering that. We are in the stage 2. This is where you have to provide information about your business and contact detail. The first information is store name. That is your business name. You can edit it if you want. It is pre-populated. Then we have store URL, and this is where you can see this is store URL, and this is where you have business name is created into store URL. Now this is a absolute question magnet. So it's been like more than 3 years now, but whether I'm doing a session in India or any other country, this is a question magnet where always there are questions. People ask questions about this section. So I'll again try to explain it in little detail so that your doubts get clear. The first question, and this is where you can pardon me for being little basic with the explanation, but it is important that someone may have this question, that what is a URL, right? So URL is basically, and this is where I'll quickly switch the screen. Just give me a second. So this where just imagine that I have to open, or we have to open, let's do that jointly. So we have to open Google. We want to search something. So we have to access Google to do that. So that is where what we did was we came to our browser, and that's where we started typing google.com. And when we typed it, we were able to access, or we were able to open this website, google.com. Now, similarly, if someone wants to open your website, what they will be typing will be the URL of your website. All right. So that is a little basic explanation about URL, but I hope everyone was able to understand. Now, related to URL, a very common question that gets asked, and this is typically from people who are a little more tech savvy and they already have a website, or they had been operating website. And the question is, we already have our own domain. So for example, the business name is ABC Exports, and they have a domain called abcexports.in. Now, the question they ask is, can we use abcexports.in, which we already have, for the website that we are making with you? The answer is yes, absolutely yes. You can use your own domain for the website that you are making now. You can do that, and there is a dedicated process around that. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you can point your domain and you can start having this website live on your own domain. And there is tutorial material also available, so you can do it yourself. However, if you are finding it difficult and you're finding it technical, you can connect with our help desk and we can guide you with the process, or we'll do it for you. Don't worry on that. So that's where you are taken care of. Don't get confused. Now, the third question is about what you are seeing on the screen. So this is where we are seeing orientchoose.linker.store. Now, what is this linker.store? So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to wonderful exporters or users like you. Now, why are we doing this? So there are two use cases to it. The first use case is many businesses who are, or who had been operating in the traditional space or in the physical non-digital space for years or decades. Now they are getting digitized, right? So you had been operating your business for like 20, 30 years, but you didn't had any digital presence other than your email. Now you want to create a digital presence. You want to create this website. Now that is where at this early stage, if we ask you that go and buy a domain and go and buy an SSL, that's where it would have become very confusing and overwhelming for you. So that's where we wanted to keep it as convenient as possible. That's where we have given this option that you can use our domain and you can use it for as long as you want. So there's no time limit that you can use our domain till 30 days or 40 days. Absolutely no time limit is there. You can use it for as long as you want. Your convenience is more important. You getting your business digital is more important. So that is one use case. The second use case is for slightly more advanced or slightly more tech savvy users. And that is where when you're creating your website, when you're building your website, you would obviously not take it live or present it to the people on the internet while it is getting built, while it is getting ready, right? So till that time, you have to access it, you have to review it. Till that time, you can use our subdomain. And once you are confident, once you are thinking that it is ready, now I can present it to the world that this is my website and this is where you can come and you can review our products or services and you can get into a business deal with us. So then you can take it live on your own domain, on your own URL. So that is the second use case related to domain. And I hope I have answered all your questions, but still, if there is a question related to URL or domain, you can add it in the Q&A section and we'll try to answer once we end the session. Then you have store currency, you have store description, which is self-explanatory. So that's where we'll just skip it. Then you have store logo, store fab icon. So this is where you have to just upload your logo and icon. Social media logo, this is where you have to just upload your own logo, but you have to ensure that it fits 200 pixel by 200 pixel grid. Then you have contact details. This is where you have to just add your contact details and address. One area where people ask question is store admin number, which is your number or your colleague's number, where any of the service provider that is linked to your websites, for example, a logistic operator or a payment gateway operator, if they have to connect with someone from your organization, whom should they connect? So this is where you are providing the number of that person. All right. So that is about store admin number. Let's quickly move on. And then we have accept orders and accept inquiry. Right. Now, this is where we'll just quickly go back to the browser. And that is where I'll just open two websites. Let's open one more. Sorry. And let me just open any of the product and let's do the same thing there as well. I've brought you here so that I can explain the difference between accept orders and accept inquiry in detail. So this is accept order. Now, sorry, this is accept. This is an example of accept order. Now, this is something similar that you'll find if you have shopped online. This is something that you come across. This is where you can see there's a product which is available in different sizes. And then if you're interested to buy this product, you can place an order. So this is where, as a buyer, you are giving an order, you are placing an order, and as a seller, this seller is accepting that order, right? So that is where, if you are someone who wants to have this kind of product or this kind of experience on your website, then you have to select accept order, which is here, this option. The second is, and this is where many exporters, you are not comfortable receiving an order because you are not sure how much quantity the other person wants, or from where do I have to deliver, what are the other customs and other charges, etc. Right? So that's where you would want to understand or get a lead from them, get an inquiry from them. That's where you can offer this kind of an experience. This is where anyone who's interested to get into a business deal with them will send them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to buy this product from you. So if you're wanting to have this kind of an experience, in that case, you'll select accept inquiry, which is the other option. Now, having said that, there's a flexibility. So it is not necessary that today, if you have selected accept orders, you cannot have accept inquiry type of products on your website. Or if you have selected accept inquiry, then you cannot have accept order type of product. That flexibility is there. This is where you are telling the system that this is the type of website I would want to create. All right. So let's quickly move on to stage number 3. And that is where you are adding information about your business. So if you recall, I showed you a about section. I think I have closed it. No, it is still open. So here you can see about us. All this is populated from the information that you have added here. But while you're creating your website, there is a possibility that you may not have all the pieces of information which are to be added here. That is a possibility and understood and accepted as well, right? It is possible. But what is important is that you add information to these sections, right? So whether you are doing it while you're creating your website or you're doing it later, that is irrespective. But what is important is you're updating this section and you are updating it with rich information. All right. So let's understand what all information do you have to add. So you have to specify whether you're a FIEO member, your IC code, your business type, legal entity type, like proprietorship, partnership, etc., year of establishment, business operations. You can do a multi-select. So if you are a manufacturer as well as a merchant, you can select two at the same time. Then you have to specify whether you are MSME, export turnover for previous 3 years, countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees. Now, the next is licenses and certificates. So if you have licenses and certificate, you should add them. And those licenses and certificates are displayed on Indian Business Portal. So it is important that you're adding your licenses and certificates. Then you have to specify the advantages of dealing with you and any innovation that you have done. You should add this information. And lastly, you have to specify the types of proposals you are interested in. And then a brief note about the proposals, which will bring you to stage number 4 in this website creation journey. This is where you have to add one product. And Many people curiously ask me that we have more than one product. What about them? So the answer is, once you have created this journey, once you have created or completed creating your website, once you are done through this 4-step creation journey, that is where you'll be adding the rest of the product. And in this journey, you have to just upload one product single. Now, all the details related to the product upload are explained in the video as well. So this is where I'll only touch upon the important aspects or something which is not explained in detail in the video. So the first one is about GI product, and GI product is something that I've already explained. What are those? But if you are a seller, if you are an exporter who deals in GI products, in that case, you have to select this option, which is GI product. This is that option I'm referring to. Once you have selected this GI product option, then you'll see these two additional drop downs will start appearing. You have to select a GI product category. So whether it is agri product or a handicraft product, and then you have to select a GI product subcategory, which is here. And then you have to upload a GI product certificate. So you cannot upload a GI product without adding a GI product certificate. So you have to add that. Once you are done, then you can proceed ahead to upload the GI product. The second thing that I would want to clarify here or highlight here is about the category and subcategory selection. Now here you'll see there are drop downs from where you can select category and subcategory. You can easily select them from the drop down. Like this, you can select, firstly, you have to select the category, and then you have to select the subcategory. Now, these categories and subcategories are more than 4,500. Yes, you have heard it right. They are more than 4,500. So the possibility of your business not finding a place in these categories and subcategories is very rare. But still, if you are not able to find your relevant category and subcategory, in that case, you can use this option, can't find my category and subcategory, and you can add your own category and subcategory. So that is something that you should do. But when you're selecting a category and subcategory from the dropdown, there is one additional help you are getting. What is that additional help? That is the HS code. So HS code gets automatically populated once you have selected a category and subcategory. So it gets automatically populated. That is a help that you will get. But when you're choosing or adding your own category and subcategory, that is where you'll have to add the HS code yourself. So just keep that in mind, because as I showed to you, one of the search methods on Indian Business Portal is to search by HS code. So if you're not adding HS code to the products, you're losing out on the opportunity. So you should add that. Then you have to add the product title. Here you have the option to specify what type of product it is, whether it is accept order or accept inquiry. So you can select that, and then you can select unit of measure, and you can add a description. Stock threshold is basically reorder level. So stock is how many units of the product do you have, and threshold is reorder level. So whenever it will reach this value, so with every order, it will keep reducing. When it will reach this value, it will send you a notification that this product has reached the threshold. Then you have minimum order quantity for inquiry products. It will be minimum inquiry quantity. You can also add brand in case it is a branded item. You also get an option to upload PDF brochure. So if you have a product brochure, or if you have a technical specification document that you would want to share with importer or international buyer, you can add that from here. Long description in case you have additional content that you would want to share with the prospective buyer who will be visiting your website. Descriptions and weight is used for a very specific purpose, and the purpose is to calculate or ascertain the weight of customers' order. And why are we ascertaining or calculating the weight of customers' order? To charge the delivery fee from them. Now, the point to highlight or the point to understand here, firstly, it is only relevant when you want to charge a delivery fee. If you're uploading a product which is accept inquiry, then it is irrelevant. Now, when you are charging the delivery fee, then also there are multiple mechanisms available. So this is not the only mechanism available. There are many other mechanisms which are available. But if you want to charge based on customers' orders weight, then this information becomes important, because if you're not providing the information to the website that how heavy is the product, it will not be able to do that calculation, right? So that is where this information becomes important. All right. After that is the process to add variant, which is explained in the video itself. So I'm just skipping that. Then you have SEO meta title, keyword, and description that can be added. Now, many people ask me that, is it mandatory? So the response is, it is not mandatory, but it is essential. So if you're not adding this information, then the search engines like Google, Bing, etc., they'll not index your website. They'll not index your information correctly, and that will affect the search ranking of your website. Now, how do you create this? This looks technical. Should we hire a search engine optimization expert, or should we attempt to create it ourselves? If you want, you can hire a search engine optimization expert, but you can create this information on your own, and you can create that very easily as well, because now we have AI tools which are available. So in fact, yesterday only I did a webinar where I explained how you can use AI tools to create product related information. So you can go to GlobalLinker's YouTube channel, and that's where you can review the recording of that webinar. That should help you generate this information. Lastly, you have to upload the product image, and that will conclude your online store, your website creation journey. That will take you to this screen. This is entirely optional. So if you want, you can just click on save and publish, and that will create your store. It will create your website. So entirely optional. But in the video, I've explained to you how you can customize the color scheme. So if you want to change the color scheme to your liking, or if you would want to upload banners, etc., you can do that very easily. So all that is explained in the video. So we will just move, and this is where your website creation process is complete. This is how you have to create your website. And once you have created the website, you have to upload the remaining products or services that you have onto your website. And once you have done that, that's where your website will get reviewed. And if the product information is added properly, those will start appearing on Indian Business Portal. So this is the process I wanted to share with you. This is where I can see I have overshot the time limit, but I haven't done it. I haven't overshot it significantly, but let's break into the question answer round now, and we'll try to answer all your questions.
Thank you, Adnan, for that insightful session. I saw a lot of members asking in questions. We've tried to answer a couple of them, but we do